Well, baby, you've been on my mind. I think about you all the time. Oh, I wanna see your face.
So you can give your experience on how we zapped your tongue.
He's not complaining about 5 times.
I'm gonna keep it in my mouth all the time. Like this. I'm gonna keep it right here
All right.
the whole time.
How you doing, buddy?
Doing good, man.
Something different about you.
You know, the beard is getting longer. The beard is growing.
That's what it is, your beard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought something was different. Well, welcome to Sleeping Around the Podcast. We have a very, very, very special guest today that Brandon will introduce. Brandon and I are going to be drinking a little Shiner tonight. Our guest is going to be drinking water.
Yep.
You said you wanted the Wicked Juicy IPA.
Wicked juicy.
And you said I'm drinking the Shiner Wizzy and Easy.
You know, they've really branched out. Shiner has. They got so many flavors now.
All right. Well, Brandon, before we cheers, we need to introduce our guest.
You know, this is Yasser Zayni. Did I say that right?
That was just about right, yeah.
Just about right.
Yes.
How do you say it, sir? I apologize.
No worries. In Arabic is Yasser Zayni.
Zane.
Zayni, yeah.
Zayni. Yasser. Yasser is the employee number one for this company. The name of the company, I know the product is Excite OSA, but the name of the company is actually something different. It's
Signify Medical
Technologies. Okay. So this is a device that, and I wanted to bring them on because this is a device that we use in our practice. And so we're here to talk about it today.
I just want to have a sip.
You just want to have a sip of your beer.
Yasser, it is such a pleasure to meet
Thank you so much for having us.
I apologize.
Cheers.
I'm
No
so
worries.
thirsty.
Cheers.
Nice to meet you.
Cheers.
Likewise.
Thank you for traveling
No, thank
all
you.
the way from San Antonio. Long drive.
Tell by the accent.
That's your accent. We have another guest in the studio he's a hoot. We'll have him on camera in a little bit. But no, in all seriousness, sir, thank you so much. The product today is Excite OSA. Brandon told me about this product August or September.
Yeah.
One of those. You had it out.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, man, what do you think of this? No, it was before I saw you at Roundtable.
Mhm.
So it was before that.
August. Yeah.
And so, full disclosure, y'all, so I'm kind of the dumb jock comedian guy, the dancing guy that does. So when he told me that it stimulates the tongue and it gets your tongue muscles going, I got really excited.
I'm sure you did.
So excited.
I'm sure you did.
I mean, I'm a single man, and I got really excited. And then Brandon goes, no. It's to help with OSA. So in all seriousness, it's an honor to have you, sir.
No,
we
thank you
we
so much
have
for having us.
we have guests on our show, and then we have guests on our show. So I really do
Thank
appreciate you making time to be here.
Thank you.
Yeah. I want to say, first of all, I'd like to know more about you because I know about your product. I know what I've heard about the product. I've tried the product. We use it on some of our patients as well. It's an option that we have in our practice. And I think that there's going to be a lot of dentists out there that are going to hopefully have this in their practices as well so that they can use it with their patients as well. Assuming it works, right?
Well,
But I
does.
think you've got evidence to show that it works.
Definitely,
I mean, you guys
definitely.
got studies, and so I'm interested to hear about that. But before we get into that, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where you from? What's your upbringing? How'd you get into this industry?
well, I was.
Hold on, he does this all the time. That was 3 questions,
Yeah.
right? So literally, you went
So I'm trying
1, 2.
yeah, exactly. I'm trying to think which one shall I answer first.
Go ahead.
Whichever one you want, man.
Right.
Well, parents originated from Iraq.
Okay.
After a round trip via Kuwait, Liberia, Morocco, ended up in the UK. I was aged around 8 years old.
Okay.
So essentially brought up in the UK, London. Anything outside the M25, which is the circle around London, is alien to me. I've just been within London all the way through. Studied university, medical engineering. Then
All
after
there
that-
in London.
All-
You
all
I
studied-
like how he's
Okay.
shaking his head. He goes, you know, and I was there, and then I just studied medical engineering.
Medical
and,
engineering.
You know,
Yeah. So is medical engineering a degree? Like,
It
is that
is,
okay?
yes, yes.
What university did you go to in
Queen
London?
Mary, it's East London.
Okay, East London. And what was the name of the university?
you
Queen
just
Mary.
said.
Queen Mary. I didn't
Yes.
hear him because you were breathing so loud.
I am. I'm really excited.
Queen Mary.
Queen Mary University.
How
yes.
many universities? I don't know.
How many
I've
in
never
London?
been to London.
Never,
Never.
ever.
I'm dying to go.
Have you been outside the US?
Well, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but not London.
Not London.
Cancun, Mexico for spring break does not make one a world traveler.
My father was in the military. He was stationed in Germany
Okay.
when I was very young, and we traveled all over. I mean, Europe, but we never went to London. And that was as a child. I mean, that was before I was 8 or 9 years old. I think we left Germany when I was 9 years old. And since then, my travel has been the Caribbean, Mexico, a lot of Canada. I spent a lot of time in Canada for some reason. It's cold there.
Is there something fun in Canada?
Oh, there's
He has
something.
a girlfriend in the Niagara Falls area and in Canada.
Not Niagara Falls, dude. It's the High Prairies. But so how many universities are in London?
Oh, there's quite a few.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And is Queen Mary's the best?
not the best, but it's up there.
It's actually a JC.
It's a it's a JUCO.
So I will say that Queen Mary, would you say that's equivalent to the University of Texas in the United States or better?
Is University of Texas a good university?
Oh yeah,
Well, that
sure.
depends who you ask.
So,
Yeah. Okay.
It's actually a
So
good school.
why in the world did you study? What made you want to study medical engineering? Like, how do you just? Is this something like you grow up and like I want to
Look,
study medical engineering?
The truth is that I got into physics because I loved all the astronomy and
Okay.
and cosmology and all of that. But got in there first year, it was all to do with electronics, and I just got, this is too boring for me.
Okay.
So I dropped out and came across medical engineer, and I thought, yep, this is what I would like to do. I was having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you come across it? Was there like something? Was there a specific project or someone you met or?
Not really. It was just at university, and I just came across the syllabus or whatever it was at the time that they were handing out. Came across it. It was intriguing. I thought, yeah, why not? Let's give this a go. So dropped out from physics year one and just moved across to.
I've always had a fascination about university versus colleges in North America.
Okay.
So both Brandon and I played sports in college, right? And our college experience, whenever you think of America, college experience, like your freshman year, you're having a good time, you're partying, they have fraternities, sororities, athletes. Is university like that?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, the first.
Okay.
The first few years before it gets serious.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting on that. I'm 48.
That's
But,
good.
but no,
Not everybody does that.
But
you
I was
know.
thinking like the university. Yeah. But I was curious. Like I just never met anybody that went to university. So that's interesting.
So in North America, universities are not common.
We just don't call them that. So we call them colleges or
Colleges,
schools. And realistically, pretty much every state has a state school.
Okay.
Right? Texas is unique. Texas has many different schools. Unfortunately, they have the University of Texas that's in Austin. Other than that, they're really
But
good
is that
schools in
university
Texas.
or a college?
Well, it's university.
It's a university. Okay.
Yeah, but it's just a different way that people talk about it. Like people always talk about university. Like I went to university is a very common saying in Canada,
Right.
or the UK or all these other places. And for some reason here, we don't say I went to university. We
Yeah.
say I went to college.
Went to college.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it is a university. It's the University of Texas, the University of Oklahoma, wherever. You didn't go there.
I went to Oklahoma Baptist University.
Oklahoma Baptist University. But we don't say I went to university.
Right.
We say I go to college at
interesting.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
it's
got
just-
my degree from.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you did 4 years there.
Yes. So yeah, it counts as an MEng, Masters in Engineering. That's what I ended up with.
Okay.
And then when I finished that, I was on the lookout to do something in medtech.
Sure.
So I stuck it out for around 12 months, just looking around, trying to find the right thing for me. And then I got an offer with the MHRA, which is the equivalent of the FDA
Okay.
in the UK.
So it's a regulatory body.
Yeah.
Okay.
What does
so
that stand for, sir?
So Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency.
Okay.
It's a bit of a mouthful.
Yeah.
But it's the equivalent of the
Speaking
FDA,
of a bit of a
basically.
mouthful.
I apologize, Yasser. I apologize. Again, University of Texas humor.
I'm sorry.
So it is
sorry.
the equivalent. And so
Yeah.
literally for 12 months, you're looking for a gig.
Yeah, so
job.
just trying to find within.
So what was
within,
your job with the UK FDA?
So I was the medical device specialist.
Okay, so your job was to evaluate medical devices
Correct.
and approve them or not
No,
approve them.
well, not approval. So essentially, started off reviewing medical device failures, making sure that manufacturers were doing the right thing.
Okay.
Whether it's a recall, whether it's any corrective actions they need to do, communications to patients, physicians, and so on. And then the role evolved, ended up being the lead for electrical safety. And then also at the same time being the lead for radiotherapy. So training and all of that to develop, to become the lead on both of those.
Okay.
Within the MHRA, stayed there for 8 years. And then I thought, you know what, with everything that I've learned, I could do something in the industry.
That's right.
So again, left the MHRA and joined Bausch and Lomb, the contact
That's
lenses.
the lens, the
Yes,
eye people, eye people.
eye people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They make glasses. No, they make
Contacts.
contact lenses.
Well, they
and solution.
well they apparently they came out with Ray-Ban.
Yes.
Bausch and Lomb, they came out with Ray-Ban back in the day.
I love his music. Way, hey, oh, oh, hey, oh.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ray Ban.
Ray-Ban.
Sorry, it's the Ray Band.
We're gonna get a mic fix. You're good. Okay.
Yeah, stayed with them 10 months, and then I got an interesting gig in south of France, Montpellier.
What Bausch and Lomb?
Yeah,
What'd
10
you
months.
do for them?
I was regulatory specialist.
Okay.
For UK and Ireland.
So I hate to say this, but you go to school, university,
Yes.
you get this degree, medical engineering. Did you think, and then everything you did after that seemed to be very much around regulations?
So yeah, my career path took me down the regulatory path to start off with. Yeah.
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 Did that?
I have a feeling that's why he left.
Well, I was gonna
I think
say
that's what he's trying
I mean,
to tell you in a polite
Getting
way.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest with you, with regulatory, the regulatory field, a lot of people see it as a restriction to innovation. However, a lot of what is in there as regulation is to make sure that manufacturers act responsibly.
Obviously, it's needed.
Yes.
I'm not saying we shouldn't have.
Some
What do you call it?
control.
Regulatory.
Some
Regulatory.
Regulatory.
Yeah.
Regulatory.
I'm not saying we shouldn't have some regulation,
Yeah.
but it seems kind of.
He's like the golden snitch.
Yeah, it seems kind of
Too soon?
You know,
Too early.
just
Okay.
a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems kind of stiff, suit and tie, and kind of like
I get it.
process. It kind
I
of
get
seems
it.
boring.
I get it. Yeah.
It doesn't sound like you're really. I mean, did you feel like you were changing the world when you were regulatory?
I was contributing to patient safety.
Which is important.
There it
Which
is.
is very important.
I mean, I'm
Which is very
sorry we
important.
got Mr. Loose Cannon Dentist over here. Can we please hear his story?
No, I'm sorry.
I feel like he's going to pull out a leather jacket and a cigarette and go, oh, hey, what do you-" I know.
Oh,
gosh.
okay. I'm sorry. So you were regulating,
Yes, regulate.
and,
Yes.
and then you went to Bausch
But
and
I
Lomb,
had-
and you continued to regulate.
But then I got a nice gig south of France.
Yeah.
Montpellier.
Okay.
So I went there, a medtech robotics company,
Okay.
south of France. Stayed there for 6 months.
What do you think about robotics?
Love it. It's the future.
You really?
Oh yeah, 100%.
What kind of robotics does this company do? Just curious.
They were doing spinal surgery, brain surgery.
Yeah. Yeah. So no lie, my dad had his prostate removed. I hope you don't mind me sharing that, Dad. But he had prostate cancer.
Will he listen? Is he going to be listening?
Yeah, he might. I don't know. You know, he's got to figure out how to turn on the computer first, or the phone or whatever it is. Have you met my dad?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He is a good guy.
So a few years
but I didn't
ago,
know he's minus a prostate.
Yeah,
that changes
you don't have
everything.
prostate, yeah. So nothing for you to tickle.
Yeah.
So he
Fair point.
he had prostate cancer. And it was kind of prostate cancer is very out of all the cancers you want to get, it's the one you want to get, right? Like it's not the killer that all the other cancers are. So that was, but still kind of a scary thing that dad had to go through this whole process. So he calls me up and he's like, yeah, I got this deal. I got to get my prostate. I'm just going to get it removed. I don't want to do the seeds. I don't want to do this and that. And he was going through the different treatment options and, all this kind of stuff. And anyways, his surgeon was a robotic surgeon. And so the whole thing was done with the robotics.
Yep.
And it was like, incision here, camera goes in here, tube goes in here. And then the robot arms go in here.
Right.
And then the guy's like around the corner,
Just
like,
seeing it all on the camera and just
doing it all on the
yeah,
camera.
yeah,
And I was fascinated by it. I was like, this is incredible. This is,
that's,
I mean, like, it really is kind of incredible.
well, now with 5G and all, they're doing wireless surgeries where
Yeah.
a physician or the surgeon is in some other state or
That's
other
right.
country and
They
they're
just
doing
have a
surgery.
screen.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh. So what do you think about, how much do you know about dentistry and robotics?
Not in robotics in dentistry.
Yeah.
Not
He's from England.
much.
They don't.
We don't have
Touche.
dentists. We don't
Touche.
have dentists.
So,
Yeah.
so in
That's a mic
America,
dropper.
in America, we have dentists.
Oh my God.
No, I'm just kidding. The whole reason I wanted you on the show was
so you can have a go at the UK.
was to try and get more UK followers.
Okay.
So if you're in the
great way
UK,
to-
please subscribe. I'm totally kidding. I'm going this weekend to look at a robot for dentistry.
Okay.
And it's very interesting.
Hold on a second. A real doll is not a robot for dentistry.
It's a robot for dentistry.
Oh, I thought you were talking about. Okay.
It's for implant surgeries. And I'm like, and this is the future in medicine, I think. I mean, because we're seeing robotics take over in all kinds of medical procedures.
say so, yeah.
And why not dentistry? And so I'm really curious as to how, but the dentistry is such a unique, because patients are awake.
I was gonna say that, right? Because in the robotic, in like they're anesthetized, right? Or
Exactly.
sedated to a
Yeah.
large degree.
Yeah.
But in dentistry, like when you're doing like surgery, oral surgery,
They're sedated, maybe, but conscious sedation usually, or maybe they're not sedated and they're awake, and so there's movement and there's and then there's also the skill and the how much can a robot do and what. So, anyways, I'm very interested to see, and I'm this is not even on topic, and I'm
I can
so
tell.
sorry for
No, let's
bringing
just
this
interview
off
you.
railing, but
Go ahead. Tell us more about that, Brandon.
you know what, you're a dick.
I can be.
Okay, so you were working with robotics,
yes, yep.
south of France.
South of France. That was a 6-month gig,
Yeah.
and then left and came back to the UK. Worked for BD, Becton Dickinson.
I don't know who that is. I'm being
no
serious.
idea.
No.
Okay.
No, seriously,
Yeah. What are they? Yeah.
BD.
Do you know
Well, They're
BD?
huge.
No.
No,
Yeah.
Dan,
BD.
you know BD?
nobody knows
I've got a
BD?
guess.
What, Burt's and Dickinson?
No.
What were you going to guess?
I'm completely no. I'm not gonna do it.
Butts and dicks?
Nope. not
You down
too
with
far off.
BD? Yeah, you know me.
Yeah. Okay. No. What is
really?
it?
What does BD stand for?
Becton Dickinson.
Bex and Dickinson.
Okay. Nothing.
They do infusion pumps.
Okay.
And
Well,
all the
Like for IVs? Or
Alaris pump. No,
Is that for so infusion?
drug infusions.
Okay.
drug infusions,
Okay.
like IV drug infusions.
There you go.
Okay.
So for people with either arthritis or cancer or just
yeah,
infusions.
so for
Okay.
chemotherapy.
Okay.
And
Okay.
drug
Gotcha now.
infusions and
Okay.
yeah. So I was with them for just under a year, and then got contacted by a recruiting agency telling me about this interesting gig with Signifier, or at the time we were called Snoozeel.
Okay.
And then I said, yeah, let's, I'm happy to speak to the CEO, Akil. And the way Akil operates, he wants to get things done quickly. Oh, wait, do you want to meet tonight? I said, what, tonight? He says, yeah, let's meet tonight. Sat down with him for like 3-4 hours.
Wow.
I was, to be honest, always on the lookout for this startup environment.
Okay.
Always on the lookout to see an interesting project. Came across a few before this that just didn't really. I didn't think these guys would make it.
Right. Didn't move you. Didn't. You
Yeah.
just,
It just I thought no, your product, your idea is just it's not gonna fly. But Akil just has this way of selling the vision.
So do you think it was more Akil, or do you think it was the product, or is it the combination?
The combination.
Of both? Okay.
The combination of the two is.
That's a good question.
It is, yes. Yeah. So the product in itself, the idea of doing something unique, innovative in the industry.
Can I ask what year that was, sir?
What
year that was? Because I'm curious.
2018.
Okay.
2018.
Okay.
2018.
So Signify Medical has been around for
Since 2016.
2016.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're a UK company? They're based
UK.
there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Put together, started off in the UK. The idea was Akil and Anshul. Akil Tripathi and Anshul Sama. So Akil is a serial entrepreneur. So he's got like spinal implants, invented a wheelchair for obese patients.
Nice. So he stays in the medical field.
So he's in that domain.
Okay.
And Anshul Sama is a ENT consultant.
Okay.
Oh.
So one of Akil's greatest strengths is he's an amazing networker. He speaks to people and he talks and he comes up with these great ideas. So while he was speaking with Anshul, they were talking about OSA and the difficulties OSA patients have with CPAP, and there is not much innovation that's happened, significant innovation that's happened, and most of the innovation is not thinking about the patient ultimately. So they started just on a napkin, just brainstorming, literally on a napkin. So the idea of Excite OSA was drawn up on a napkin.
I love that.
And the
Ultimately,
thing that's really brilliant about Akil is, to him, it's in his mind. He has this guy who's continuously just scripting PAP, right? Just blindly scripting PAP for everyone. And Akil, that doesn't go over well because it's like, wait, you're putting the same therapy on everyone. You're just putting a band-aid
one thing for a one size fits all solution.
When you're in med school, you take like it's like a chapter of OSA, right?
Yeah.
So he didn't know what sleep apnea was. He didn't really know what CPAP was. So to him, it was like, okay, what's the root cause of what's causing all of this CPAP that you're scripting? What is it? Why are we just putting a Band-Aid on something rather than attacking the root
Love
cause?
it.
And that's how.
And for our audience out there, this isn't an elf on the shelf. You want to introduce them officially? Would you like to introduce them, Brandon?
This is Matt Goebel. Matt Goebel is a good friend of mine. He's been in the industry for a long time.
Long time.
He left ResMed.
Yep.
Can I say ResMed on
Yeah,
our
you can.
podcast?
Absolutely.
So
You can.
ResMed, I knew him back from the ResMed Narval days, but he left ResMed to join this company. And I knew that if Matt was leaving his position at ResMed to go do this, that there must be something to it. And that's how I met Yasser.
But I'm glad, just real quick, that's so true to both y'all's point. For years, how I know Matt is I worked for the competitor, Phillips.
We were the Mats in the Valley.
That's right. And
Weren't you just here? Now there was the other one.
yeah. So the other guy's way better looking. But no,
and
so
you're both dumb baseball jocks too.
That's true. I mean, we have a lot in common, but we also all, just like this podcast, a passion for sleep. So I don't just want to gloss over and be funny about what Matt just said. The innovation is so new that this old regiment goes, we put CPAPs on people. We put, devices in their mouth to help them sleep. But what about this? And so Matt and I were able to spend some time together so I could learn a little bit about your product. But I love that idea. Like, it's written on a napkin. What about this? And down to where it is now. So we're talking, you came in started 2016.
Started 2016.
You came 2018. Matt, you
2016.
started there in
6
19?
months ago.
Oh, just 6 months ago.
So I'm curious though, why were they talking about OSA? What was the experience? You know, was there some kind of a personal experience? Did one of them have OSA? Was there a family member? Do you know?
Or is he just a great thinker?
Or is it
No,
just like, hey,
it's-
this is a medical problem that we know is out there?
So he's so Akil is the type of person when he speaks to doctors, physicians, he says, "What difficulties do you have in your practice? What
Gotcha.
difficulties do you?"
Okay.
So Anshul, being an ENT consultant
There.
in the UK, they handle a lot of the snoring and OSA.
The ENTs do.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
But I do have a question over there, and maybe you
Yeah.
can help me with this.
Sure.
And Matt, chime in if you've heard the same. Hold on, Hot Monkey Love that's my mom's lamp. Long story. Over there, I think first line therapy is an oral device in the UK. Am I correct? And then
For-
CPAP,
for OSA,
OSA.
no, it's not. No, I don't think it's frontline.
Okay.
No, I don't think it's the first CPAP. It's still
It's-
CPAP.
it is over there?
CPAP. Yeah.
Okay. So
CPAP.
my understanding was in the UK, I really did. I thought, and the reason why ResMed still has Norvell out there is because, hey, the first thing they do is put them on. It might even be first line. Let me change. The first thing they put on is an oral device first. Then if they don't do well on that, then they put them on a CPAP. Where here in North America, they just, like what Matt was saying, they just blanket you with CPAP. And so, or they come after that, then they go to the oral device. So that's why I thought this product's like, boom, like this is going to be a game changer. And I see why you got excited and joined the company. But so I apologize. I really did. I thought it's not like that, Matt?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I think it's still CPAP.
Gosh,
Yeah,
dang, all
still
over the
CPAP.
world.
Yeah.
All right.
So what else does Signify Medical do? Is this their primary?
So this is our first offering from the great ideas that we're working on to patients.
Okay.
So this is the first commercialized idea.
Well, we keep
Yep.
saying this.
So-
I keep talking about how excited. Let's hear a little bit about it.
Yeah. So let's talk about the product.
Yeah.
So it's neuromuscular electrical stimulation.
Okay.
So it stimulates the junior glossus, which is your tongue muscle, to improve upper airway patency during sleep. So it's daytime therapy for 20 minutes. So you don't wear anything during your sleep.
Okay.
No masks, no oral devices.
From day
during
one.
sleep. From day one.
Okay.
So you use it 20 minutes a day. And what it does, it works through different frequencies, delivering stimulation to the tongue, and the muscle will just be contracted. You're working out the tongue muscle. So like any other muscle in the body, when you go to the gym, you want to improve the tone and the functionality of the muscle. You want to contract
I
and
apologize.
relax.
So a gym, Brandon, is where you go and you work out and you exercise.
That's
But
what,
he looks
that's
like a
where you
person who
go?
does exercise, no? He does, right?
I don't go to the gym though. I gotta give a shout out. I found a trainer. So
Okay.
a few years ago, I was like, man, I gotta get a personal trainer. And then he moved, my personal trainer, Barrett.
Yep.
And so then I found a new personal trainer and he comes to my house.
Nice.
So he shows up like I literally wake up at 5 a.m.
Yep.
and he shows up at 5:15 and just go out in the garage and we work out there. He
So
brings
how does he work out your tongue?
well, that he doesn't work out.
That's why you need this
That's
product.
why I need this. How much did you know about sleep
I
or
didn't-
sleep apnea or OSA?
I did not. I genuinely, when I know nothing.
Nothing.
Well, of course, snoring. Everybody
Yeah.
knows snoring.
Yeah.
And the sounds you make when you go to sleep.
Do you snore?
If we were to ask your
I'm told
wife?
she says yes.
Okay.
Have you used the product?
I have used the products.
Did it
so
help?
I used to snore.
You used to snore. That's
Yeah,
what I
past
oh,
tense.
Past tense.
Yes.
Okay. So it helped you.
It helped me 100%. But for me, I think I have the most tone tongue in the world. The amount of times I've used the product to test out the different iterations
Yeah.
and the different prototypes. to get it just
Thank
about
God
right.
you're married.
So,
Strongest tongue in the world, huh?
You're in the wrong industry.
Oh, man.
Tell you what, right there.
In America, we got a great
I
industry.
mean, Matt's wife couldn't be happier the last 6 months, but
Yasser keeps coming to town.
yeah.
Oh, nice. Nice.
So where was when you joined the company? Where was this product development stage? Like, has the prototype been done? Was it already launched?
So we had, I think they've just finished their first trial in Germany, Essen.
Okay.
The first pilot study as a proof of concept, and then they were just starting to build the strategy for the regulatory submissions.
Okay.
And then as I joined, we did our trial right now, the UCL, University College London trial.
Yep.
So we started that.
How many patients were in that trial?
So in total, the trial ended up with 115 patients.
Okay.
The first trial. So
How many different trials have you done?
So that was the main multi-center trial. So we had that, and it ran in. We had other sites in Spain, Valencia, and Pamplona, just outside Barcelona. There was another big sleep site in Spain.
so
we
three
had,
separate trials.
within that 115 patient data.
In America currently right now.
Right now in the US, we have Miami,
Okay.
Jackson Memorial, running a trial.
Actually, that's
RCT.
a really good.
Yeah.
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 So I'm curious.
Hold on. He's
Oh,
keep
sorry.
going.
And we had a trial finish with University San Diego, UCSD,
Yep.
with Atul Malhotra. We had a trial there where in his trial, the interesting was it's a mechanistic study to demonstrate the improvement in the tongue muscle and the functionality of the tongue. So basically demonstrating that we are doing what we say we do to the tongue muscle.
And it was exciting getting Dr. Malhotra.
Yes.
No, he's
You know him,
yep.
yeah.
Yep.
His name is all over every restaurant Express, man.
Yep.
He's a big research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he jumped on this product, no money, nothing. He found it and loved the concept of it and wanted to start researching it.
Yeah.
So-
AASM, he's very well known. So
ATS.
those are the only two. So we went to Miami, San Diego. We got both coasts. Is that it? And I'm not. Just
and then we've got further trials being planned going into next year. So
Okay.
we've got trials being planned at 5 different sites in the US.
Okay.
Going into next year. So we're going to be heavy on clinical trials.
And
going
for
into
our
next year.
listeners, right, for iTunes and for our YouTube subscribers, with your permission, and we'll put the website, we'll put all the and that way they can look up specific details to the studies, how many patients, population. That's
It's all on the website.
Okay. Yep.
So just so we're clear,
Yes.
we've talked a little bit about the product, and Yasser did a really good job of explaining it, but he used a lot of fancy words like genioglossus and airway patency and things like that. This device, the goal of this device is to strengthen the tongue muscles and to cure or basically get rid of sleep apnea.
Well, it's not cure, to reduce the number of obstructive events you would have during the night.
So
right?
they're real big
we're
on
not eliminate it.
And we've
And
talked about
snoring.
it.
Yes.
Go ahead. I apologize.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead. So we've talked in the past on the podcast about AHI. We've always talked about that, the gold standard, try to get it down to a realistic number instead of this crazy 0 AHIs. That's how many times you stop breathing in an hour. The goal of this was to do that, not in a subjective way, but to say, how can this help with mild to moderate? Am I correct, Matt? Is it indicated for
mild?
mild?
Just mild.
Just mild. For mild OSA, so we're looking at an AHI. Mild is at 15.
14.9 and under.
I always round up.
Yeah.
So 14.9 and under.
That's how you got to 4 inches.
6'4". Tight. So 14.9. And so the goal was to, and I believe one of the studies, Matt, please jump in here if I get this wrong. I believe one of the studies is to cut that in half, correct? To get that AHI and the mild to half under a certain amount of time after using?
The goal is to eliminate it. I mean,
Oh,
what
so
our
we're-
studies
so
have
go with
shown
0.
after 42 days is that it's cutting it in half. That's what our studies are.
Okay, so that's what I read.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, so that's the one I read about. Okay. Now, real quick before we go into there, you said 20 minutes a day.
20 minutes a day.
Will someone start seeing when will they start? Because you said, and I'm just quoting you, you have the world's strongest tongue. But from day one use, I'm sure it didn't
No,
just.
it's not. Well, if you equate it to working out, did
Yeah.
you start seeing results from the first day you started working out?
No. I mean,
Well, he's got to
small-
start day
small
one
results.
first.
Small results.
Small results is first, and then very big results. Not very big, but big.
But like any other muscle in the body, right?
Right,
It's
right.
it's the consistency, and that's why we say
Yeah.
the first 6 weeks
Okay.
is every day
Right.
for 6 weeks to gain that consistency. So with repetition and consistency, you'll improve the tone and the muscle functionality of the tongue.
So here's the idea. The idea is you put this in your mouth for 20 minutes a day. You connect it to your cell phone.
yes,
Well, it's a Bluetooth to your cell phone. It's got an app. And for 20 minutes a day, it zaps your tongue. And it doesn't hurt.
Stimulates.
It stimulates.
stimulates. Yes,
It's
yes.
very stimulating.
Very-
But you control the strength of the stimulation.
correct.
I don't know why you give people that control, by the way, because I just turn it all the way up.
And how does it feel?
Amazing.
In your mouth, though.
It feels. Oh, this,
God, I miss
oh, fuck me.
you. It's so good to see you,
Okay.
man.
So
I can sit on the side every show. if
you
want.
put
I mean,
this
Please.
you
You.
put this in 20 minutes a day. You don't have to wear your CPAP mask all night.
Nope.
You don't have to wear your
Not at
oral-
first. Not at first.
Well,
If you're- yeah,
we
yeah.
don't advocate for you to stop. You follow whatever your prescribing physician says. So if your prescribing physician
Okay.
says continue using CPAP while
Yep.
you're using Excite
Yep.
OSA, that we're
But in a
yeah.
perfect world and based on the studies, if you're in that mild category or if you snore and you use this like you're supposed to every day for 6 weeks, it'll strengthen your tongue to the point where you won't collapse at night. And it will reduce the snoring and it will reduce the events.
Correct. So we reduce the collapsibility
Okay.
of the upper airway. So the tongue falling back into the upper airway. So we reduce the number of events
Now-
that occurs.
So here's the question. The tongue is attached to the jaw.
Okay.
It is?
And so the tongue may have better tone, but what about the other muscles? What about the mass?
They're all interlinked.
So that genioglossus, when it collapses, it also brings all those muscles connected
There
down
you go,
with it.
Maddie.
And when your genioglossus is stable, strong enough to be stable, those muscles all follow it. So your genioglossus kind of does this, right?
Mhm,
It comes
mhm.
back up.
Yep.
All those muscles attached to it.
Yeah.
When your genioglossus, they're kind of the anchors that just ride
So
with it.
so you think the mandible does not retract or retrude or as much as well, even though
It may. I mean, this isn't for everyone, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's most 83% of the time what we're showing that root cause is genioglossus.
There you
It's
go.
going to help that. There's other times. I mean, I've had times now where people try this and it failed.
Yeah.
It's not
well,
that
83%.
genioglossus.
So
Right.
83% of people are going to see success from
Right.
this.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. I can tell you, I use this for, first of all, how did you decide? Because when I put this in, and you got to try this. If you haven't tried this, you got to try this.
Okay.
If you snore, okay. Have you tried this
in your mouth.
in your mouth? Not mine. Don't
I
try
have
mine.
not. I have not tried.
Okay. We'll get you one.
Okay.
Okay. But the frequency and the speed of the
pulses.
stimulation,
The stimulation.
I'm going to just call it shocks. It feels like it's kind of a 10
Man,
jam for your
you know,
tongue.
we should hook up one and get me to do it live.
Let's do it.
Or let's do it. Yeah, hook me
No,
up.
no, you can't. It's the battery's dead.
No, he's got
right
one here. Yeah.
So it's interesting because it starts out and it's kind of just like a zap, 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 zap.
I'm serious. Can we
And then
open
it's
it?
like a zap, zap.
me
And then
hook
there's a break. And then there's a zap, zap, zap. And then there's a break. And then there's like a like
Well, that's the change in frequency.
well, so how did you decide? Like, how did you
Well, it's
decide
from the
what that
literature.
change of frequency
Well,
should be?
Neuromuscular electrical stimulation, NMES, it's a known scientific phenomena. So it's well researched in other parts of the body. So lower calf, the calf muscle.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of literature, and that is where.
But who's doing it for their lower calf muscle? I mean, other than Phil Mickelson.
I'll let you know. So, like for instance, when I had a tumor in my leg,
Yeah.
and I had that tumor removed, and I had to go through physical therapy.
So it's part of your
So
physical therapy.
Before I would do my exercises,
Yeah.
they would neuromuscular stimulate my leg, get that going, get the pulsating, everything going. That would loosen up at the fibers and everything, and now allow me to be able to stretch better because I was so tight. The muscles were so it just opened it up. So I mean, I've been going to the chiropractor for years.
I was going to
where
say
before your session, they lay you down, they
Yep.
put neuromuscular
And you've had
stimulation
it
all over your back.
when you were
Well,
at UT. I guarantee
Totally.
you did.
I've had plenty of stim, but
She's random.
why? But that, you see, you're talking about loosening up. You do the muscle stem to loosen up.
No,
but we're not
muscle
talking about
stem-
for the tongue. We're
No,
talking
muscle stent is bodybuilders use muscle stents to build. They really do. Pecs, and I'm being serious. So I
Yeah.
could see where I really do. I mean, my mother who had arthritis and then got very ill, she had to exercise, but because of her frailty and everything, they had to use stem to
Yeah.
contract.
Well, yeah, it's a contraction.
And that builds am I saying that right? I want to make sure. Is that not what this does?
No, it's what it does. It's what
Okay.
it does. And I'll tell you, so I use Snore Lab, and you guys are getting rid of, you guys have your own snore detector in
Very
your
soon.
app now.
Yep.
It's coming.
Very
It's
soon.
coming. It's coming very
It's
soon.
coming soon.
So the ex-president of Bose Speakers is our COO. So you're going to know how good this is going to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're
Phil
doing
Hess.
live. Bring it
Phil
in.
Hess is the man.
Okay.
All right. So I'm not.
So
being
first of all, can we get a camera on
yeah.
the app?
I want all this.
Give me 1 second.
All right. Yeah. I want to make sure
We'll give
this
Dan
correct.
1 second. Dan's
Now, if I have extremely
like,
large
this is
tongue,
27
does that have
times
issues?
worse than musicians.
No, this is great. It's just this thing just broke, so now I'm.
Why'd you break it, Dan?
Way to break it, Dan. Handsome Dan.
It probably wouldn't have broken if you were wearing short shorts.
He did go sleeveless though. He's getting there.
I know he's getting back to where we need him to be.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's get
Okay,
that. You want
hold
that
on.
first?
What do we do with the app? Can we show the app, or do we not want to see the app?
I want
Is
Matt
that
to
camera?
tell us what to do.
That camera.
That camera there.
So all the therapy is run off this app. Okay.
Okay.
That's the beautiful part of that. That's how we
Low
can
touch.
monitor patients the way we do is everything is done digitally off this app. So what we're going to do, it's asking you to start session 1. So we're going to
session
go ahead
one.
and start session 1. It's going to ask you just to take a look at this medical grade silicone. So this is a one size fits all. We took 150 impressions of people all across the world, every ethnicity, you name it. And we took the median of that 150 tongues. That's the median. As you can see, it's very malleable. One size truly does fit all. So you see that there's no cracks or anything. We're going to put that in our mouth now.
Just
If you just wait.
If you follow this, it's going to tell you to
yeah,
connect,
Then
connect the
you're
device.
connected. So
Okay,
if you
I'm
connect and
connected.
You
disconnect,
see it's Bluetoothing. You see the flashing
the
blue.
S logo is not flashing. So if you can disconnect and connect again,
just
Pull it out and then pull it back
Should
in.
be charged, right? Right
yeah,
off the
yeah,
box.
should be fine.
Oh, blue right there.
Okay.
Yep, it's flashing blue,
It is
Okay. So we're going to connect that.
and you guys are placing your.
Place in your mouth.
And do I put my tongue
Yeah.
So
under
the
here?
goal and the goal is to have your tip of your tongue right at that arch. Yep.
Okay. And
No,
then
no, just
you-
below.
no.
Below.
Oh.
Yeah. Go under
There
it.
you
Yeah.
go, yeah.
There
Kind
you
of
go.
slide on it.
Okay. We've connected. It's
So now it's
read
going to
it.
connect. So
We're
this
gonna
is the specific Bluetooth ID. We're connecting, and you're going to get.
I gotta tell you how nerdy we were. Jenny and I did this at the same time, and so both of our phones brought up both of ours, and we are like, "Which one's you? Which one's me?" We had to like trade.
So now
Me and Joe have done
you,
that.
you start off at level 1. I'm going to just
Go to
take
5.
what level? Show
Go
5.
5.
I'd go 7.
7.
Yeah.
You should start to feel that about now.
No.
You feel that?
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Okay. Give him like just 15 seconds at 7, and then go up to 14.
So what he's feeling is 6 seconds on, 4 seconds off, 6 seconds. It's like doing a couple reps off, couple reps off, stimulating off. Okay. That's going to be for 5 minutes. That's at 3 hertz.
How long before the drool comes?
Right
Yes.
now? You
So-
should probably
so-
be drooling.
So now, so the biggest side effect, let's say, is people drooling, because people just when something in their mouth, they don't know what to do
Lollipop
with it.
effect.
Some people know what to do with it.
You sure?
Yasser, when it's in their mouth.
But this will go away. It took me 12 sessions. I monitored all my things. It took me 12 sessions. And this does not saliva like when you're out on the street.
How does it feel though? Like pain
Press
wise?
pause.
Is
Just
it,
press
does it
pause.
hurt?
No,
No, keep it going. Don't press pause.
no pain at all.
Well, let's
Yeah.
take this up.
Okay,
We're going to take this
so
up to
we're going to take it up to like 12.
13.
13. Okay. Tell me, can you tolerate it? Ooh. Is okay. You feeling it in your teeth yet? No.
Now, I will tell you what you're feeling at 13 on day 1 is much different than what it would feel 3 weeks from now. Because what's happening is, let's just take it back to the gym, right? You're only used to lifting 20 pounds right now. And someone said, here, try this 70 pounds. And it was like, oh my God, this is fucking gnarly, right?
Yeah.
But by week 7 or 8 of lifting all those weights, 70 pounds would be nothing. That's what this is.
I gotta tell you, okay. So here's what I gotta tell you what I love about this. And I don't know who came up with this. I'm hoping you came up with this.
Go on.
But when you stop using it, like if you forget to use it.
Man, can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
That didn't hurt at all. Like it just felt like,
You're working out the tongue.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what we're going to do?
Like my
we're
tongue was
we're gonna
literally-
continue to play this, and I'm going to have you
Go
feel
ahead.
what. No, not
No,
yet.
the
We'll
change
have
in
you put it
frequency.
in when it's at 10 hertz, and
Okay.
then we'll have you put it in at 20 hertz.
So the
Because
change
it
in
goes
frequency.
3, 10, 20,
Yeah, at the
back
end.
down to 3.
At the end, and like towards the end,
It's
it
back
gets
down to 3
Yeah,
hertz.
it's
See,
like
that was
like it's the intensity changes.
It's
throughout
4
the-
workouts in 20 minutes.
I love
That's
it.
what it is.
no, so I'm being honest and I'm not trying to be tough. Didn't hurt at all. It felt like a pressure,
Yep.
but I kind of liked it. Like, you know, like I don't know.
and that's just in your mouth.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's in my mouth.
So who decided 20 minutes was the key? Like, how did you try 30 minutes? Did you try 40 minutes? Go,
Cool.
because here's the deal.
Dan, you want
Like,
to try this? Come
I'm,
on.
I'm the type of guy. It's like,
Yeah, come on.
you know, if 20 minutes is good, 30 minutes is better.
So that's a very good question. Again, this is all based from the literature. So all the studies that were done. So we're not essentially reinventing the wheel around NMES. We are just finding a smarter way of application for the oral cavity or the junior glossus. So we're just reapplying what is a known phenomena for stimulating other muscles in the body,
Okay.
and applying it for the tongue.
And
Or
same
to the
thing for the
tongue.
frequency then. You're
the
following the same
frequency.
thing. Like this
The same
frequency,
thing.
this has been studied
It's been studied. It's a
for
known
other parts of the body.
It's a known phenomena. Now, it's been used in other body cavities
Mhm.
to stimulate the muscles. There.
Why do you
for
say other? You
pregnant
can tell
women-
us what it is.
Pregnant women
Okay.
use it for after pregnancy.
Okay.
For their
to
what?
improve the pelvic floor muscle.
Okay,
Okay.
cool, man. Yeah, a lot of women have incontinence issues, sneeze, or they cough. Dude, it's almost like what are those balls you use for your butt?
Oh, I got some
Kegels. He
Yo-
uses
yeah.
Kegels
No.
exercises. Am I saying that right?
Kegels.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah. So instead of that, this would.
So it's the same. It's the same muscle group,
Okay.
the tongue muscle and the pelvic floor muscle.
Okay.
So it's
Very
used for that.
proper. The vagina.
Hold on, Dan. Close your ears.
Dan, a vagina.
In case the audience is wondering what Yasser is saying, it's the vagina.
Well, they do say that they regulatory the floor of the area down here.
How do you say vagina in the UK?
Vagina.
Yeah.
Is
so-
it the
Any
woohoo?
different?
yeah.
The yoo-hoo?
Any
Yeah.
different?
My dad goes. That's what my dad. That's what. Okay.
We're open this up. Where are we at?
All
So-
right. Dude, this is. I'll put this right back in.
Yes.
30 more
30
seconds.
seconds.
Yep.
Okay.
30 more seconds, then put it in.
The
Yeah.
change
All
of
right.
frequency.
Because then the frequency will change.
All right.
Okay.
So when?
So here's the thing I love about this. Okay. First of all, if you stop using it, and this is the whole reason why I got a personal trainer, is because there were days where I would just be like, I don't want to go to the gym today. Right. I got busy at work. I don't want to use it. And you just kind of go with that and you get by with it. When you skip a day, the app lets you know.
Yes.
Yep. So the app is like when I forgot a day because I just got lazy or I just forgot, especially early on, the app's like, hey, you forgot a day. And I get a notification on my phone that's like, hey, you forgot a day. You need to do a new day.
But let's take this even a step further. This is the most beautiful part of this product. So you know PAMS. I know ResMed 360, right? What you experienced was a trial device. So we gave you a demo code. In reality, like when your patients activate the device, the very thing that happens with your patients when they activate the device is they get an email from a coach or sleep advocate from us. It's got the picture, a bio, the whole story. That sleep advocate walks that patient from day one through the first phase. So you would have never gone non-compliant. You weren't getting calls from our call center. You had a trial device. Typically after 2 days, you would have got a nudge. You would have got a hit.
Yep.
If you go too many days to where you look like you're going to be game over, we'll call you. We have consent to do a whole bunch of stuff with the patient to make sure that we walk them through that first phase. So like PAMS, ResMed 360, what our customers were spending a lot of money on to monitor our patients, make sure they go compliant, we're doing all that for free.
Okay.
So as soon as your patients activate that device, they now come to us and we monitor everything.
And we give them that white glove hand holding service throughout the whole first phase.
Yeah.
And we've shown around patients are 90% adherence
Yeah.
so far.
So we have a 90% adherence in phase 1, and that's including people like yourself who game overed
Yep.
and had
And
to
then they got
restart
back
the
into it.
therapy.
And they restarted.
So they
Yeah.
game overed, restarted the therapy. 90% of our
Yeah.
patients have completed phase 1.
So I had a little trouble.
Yeah.
Absolutely, take her out. So that's phase 2. That's
One
now
of the-
10 hertz.
One of the questions I do have to ask, because I just experienced it. I can breathe through my nose. I have no deviated septum issues.
Thank you.
I have no deviated septum issues. Is that maybe one of the things you guys heard of just or
If you have
just
a
mouth breathers
if you have
alone?
a deviated septum, it's probably not going to work.
Okay.
Abnormally large adenoids, tonsils, large BMI, things of such. It's probably not the genius.
Well, we did say mild, but I'm just thinking about, I mean, I was fine and I didn't, but I could see where people, if you couldn't, man, that would be, woo. Or just mouth breathers, right?
Well, just keeping it in. So for the 20 minutes, you got to kind of keep your mouth closed. So if you have trouble nasal breathing, is that an issue? Is that a contraindication for using this?
So I'm a mouth breather. So
Okay.
I'll answer this real life experience. So I'm a full face user, full face mask because I'm mouth breather.
Yeah.
There's been times on this where I have to press pause, take my little slurp, take a couple breaths, and go back to it.
Okay.
Not a lot, but times where I'm feeling a little congested,
Mhm.
when I might have some allergies kicking. We live in Cedar Park, right? Bad allergies.
Yep.
There's times where I felt like as a mouth breather that I need to take a pause.
I will say though, it's comfortable. I don't know what this material is, but
Silicone,
medical grade silicone.
grade
I love it. Like it's comfortable in your mouth. When I would see Brandon wear it, David Schwartz, right?
Yep.
ADSM president was. I saw him do a presentation. He came up with this thing in his mouth.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool, right? And so I asked him about it after because we also share a passion for wine. And I said, was that just like a gag or whatever? He goes, no, man, this thing is the future. So what I like about this, I got slobber on this thing. What I do like about it, what about cleaning it? What's the rules on cleaning
Easy.
this?
Take that out, put that cap on that you had on it, and just run it underwater because it's not porous. It's that medical grade silicone. You're going to resupply this mouthpiece every 3 months. Wow. Yeah. So you'll change that out every 3 months. So yeah, it's no bacteria is getting caught on it. It's not like an MRD where it's going to be porous and it's going in there like a Narval. If you drank Mountain Dew, it's going to be green in 3 months.
Right.
It's not like that.
Okay, I'm going to tell you right now. I think this is really cool.
Let's see where he's at. Let's see if we can go up to the next
Here,
one.
let's do it. Let me know.
50 seconds.
All right,
so while
so-
we're waiting for him, one of the reasons why I came here, I'll tell you guys real quick. I had no intentions of leaving ResMed. I was on a very good career path. ResMed to me is just a phenomenal company.
It is.
One
I
after
agree.
another, colleagues started leaving for this little company named Signifier. And two of them were Tracy and Pete. Were
Tracy's a legend, by
a
the way.
legend, and Pete is an absolute legend.
Mhm.
And Pete was the one who got me into ResMed.
Mhm.
And after 16 years, them leaving, it was kind of like, where the hell is everyone going? Then I started learning that it's for this little company named Signifier. And it was kind of like, guys, what are you doing? You guys are all leaving ResMed for a company no one's ever heard of, a product no one's ever heard of,
Right.
doesn't have a code. What are you guys doing? And when I did my research on it and everything, what really stood out to me is there's probably 30 to 40 million people in our country who are like, wait, I'm 30, I have an AHI of 5, I'm in the dating game, my primary snore, I don't really want CPAP, I don't want it. What about me? I'm not dying, I'm not falling asleep at red lights, I'm not dying every breath that I take. I just want something where I'm not a pain in the ass anymore, right? In bed or what have you.
Yeah.
And to me, I knew there was a therapy gap. There's always been mandibular devices and CPAP. Those are the only viable players who have ever been invited to the table and say, okay, you guys are good at this table. There's been so much gimmicky crap that has come in and out of our industry that it's never been a third player. And to me, it's always been like, but what about something that's kind of an easier mode before our patients need this pretty hard therapy? And to me, it was a no-brainer. Once I found out that it worked, that was the biggest thing to me is, does this work? Are all my colleagues leaving ResMed to go to this company that doesn't work? And when I found out that it was work, that was when it was a no-brainer. I got to do this.
Yeah. That's awesome. And I think if you got, Yasser, you said that this is, if patients use this and they use it the way they're supposed to, because you can track it all through the app. So you know if they're using it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're one of the percentage that it doesn't work on.
Great question.
Yes.
100% money back guarantee.
Money back guarantee.
And we might be the only company in the world. I'm still trying to figure this out. Yasser and I talked about it today. We might be the
I
only
don't think there's
scripted
any other-
medical
So
device in the world that's 100% money back
going
guarantee.
into this, you know that you have an 83% success.
Yep.
So, and you're perfectly okay with 17% of people getting their money back.
They're not returning it. They're not returning, because here's the magical thing of this product. Numbers only say so much. And I kind of had a disagreement with an RPSGT the other day that we were talking about this. And she said, so when does this guarantee apply? She said, what if a customer comes in, a patient comes in and their AHI hasn't dropped, their snoring really hasn't dropped, but they really like the device and they want to keep on it. And I said, so what's more important to you, numbers or how the patient's feeling? And she said, numbers. And I said, we're going to have to disagree here.
Yeah, I'm very subjective.
To me, and that's always been the problem with me with the gold standard,
Me
right?
too.
CPAP is the gold standard. I've always had a problem with that, because to me, the gold standard is, what is a patient going to wear
There you go.
and what are they going to adhere to, right? I mean, even if an oral appliance takes someone from 30 down to 15,
I agree.
but they're wearing it every night,
Yeah.
that's much better than nothing, right?
I mean, I think I've always, so little personal history, I've always appreciated Matt as I don't even call him competition, right? We were fellow colleagues selling different, modalities. They were both CPAPs.
Same modality, different
Same
product.
modality, different company. But I just, that your passion, right? And so I was the same way. And literally, I would tell people who, we can both freely talk about this, especially down in the valley. Man, if they're happy on a ResMed, if they're breathing, that's all I care about.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care as long as they're breathing. And I've always felt that from you. So when Tracy went, right, and you're talking about pillars in CPAP, and at least where I came from, and then I heard you left, and I'm like, whoa, what's going on over here? I knew that something was good, because it is. ResMed's a great company. I don't think I've known too many people in my years of being just in airway ventilation that have left ResMed. My daughter's still on a ResMed for her. And I just think they're great products. So I knew that there was something, because you're an honest guy, dude, and you're passionate about it. So I thought, when Brandon talked to me about it and I put two and two together, I was like, oh my gosh, so something's going. It probably was the same thing you felt when they proposed this. You're like, man, I want to be part of something. Since launch date, through all these trials and everything, Matt, day to day, when you call on the same doctors that I used to call on, right? What's their initial reaction? And what have you seen? What I think that our audience would get a lot out of that with all of your experience and stuff. When you're walking in with this, and they trusted you, just like mine did. They trusted me on CPAP. Now I sell an oral device. They trusted you. So when you go in with this, you're having your name and your reputation. Talk a little bit about the feedback that you've gotten. I think our audience would love to hear that.
Yeah, it's a great question. There's now 15 of us that have left ResMed and Respironics for this company.
Yep.
I always tout that. I always build that to build the credibility, always, including Kieran Gallahue. I don't know if you guys know Kieran. Kieran was the president of ResMed before Mick Farrell.
Yep.
Kieran then went to Cure Fusion and orchestrated that whole sale. Kieran is known in our industry as Midas, right? Whatever he touches in sleep is gold.
Gold.
When I was telling people at ResMed that I was planning on leaving, there was the fear, the trepidation, the startup, whatever, but Kieran is involved, it's got to be good. It's the same kind of reaction that I'm getting in the daily field, right?
Awesome.
It's, Matt, we know you, we trust you. You wouldn't have left for any reason, but does this work? We don't know if there's enough clinical data on it yet. We don't know this and that. The objections that I'm getting are good objections, right? We're in a tough spot as a startup. This is rough. It's tough. There's a lot of the storms that come our way. We're fighting for a code now and stuff. There's a lot of objections, but the objections that we're getting are the right objections.
And not to mention a worldwide pandemic.
Yeah, go figure.
Yeah.
And a recall and all the things. Yeah, and all the things. But the objections that we're getting are expected, and they're the ones that I need to hear, right? Does it work?
I like to hear that.
Because if it works, great, this is fantastic. What I am hearing on an everyday basis is this is a game changer. This is the biggest disruptor in our industry that we've seen if it works. It's the constant, does it work?
But that's the thing, right?
Yep.
So we have a trial, you said 150 patients in the UK. We have a trial in Miami with how many patients?
It's going to be 40. So it's an RCT. So it's 20 on each arm.
Okay.
Yep.
So 42 patients. So, I mean, these are small numbers.
And San
These
Diego.
are-
And
When Atul Malhotra
These-
throws out
these
a
are-
study with 130,000
These are small
patients.
numbers.
Small
And even, that was a problem early on, in 2005, 2007 with a lot of these oral device studies. And then we have these, now we're 20 years later, or I guess my math's off, it's 15 years
It's
later.
all right. You went to UT.
And we have studies, all the studies start to add up over time where we have thousands and thousands and thousands of patients that we can say, here's what CPAP does. Here's what oral device does. Here's what
But
this
early
does, here's what does.
adaptation, what's great about where this technology, in my opinion, where this technology is, because of the experience of Matt and I know the people that are over there, they wouldn't have just jumped. Being an early adapter to something that changes. Y'all talked about robotics, right? Take a surgery that was archaic to be cut on, as serious, I know we were joking earlier, it's prostate removal, to now, it's
I think
literally
it's prostate.
What did I say?
Prostrate.
Did I really?
You could try again.
Prostate.
There you go.
Thank you. Fellow jock. Anyways, that surgery was so archaic where they cut and now there's the robotics and anybody like just with an appendectomy, right?
Oh yeah.
Little holes
Tons of robotics there now.
So this is just something that's non-evasive too. I love to use that word. I'm not talking about cutting, but I'm talking about it's like literally 20 minutes a day.
So what happens after the 6 weeks? So you go 20 minutes a day for 6 weeks.
Yep.
If I go to the gym every day for 6 weeks, I'm going to get fit.
Yep.
But then if I just stop going and eat chips all day, I'm going to get fat again.
Right.
So you got to keep working it
Same
out.
thing with this. So minimum of 2 days a week ongoing after that.
Okay.
Our studies have shown that 2 days is suffice. Some people have that where they need 3 or 4 days worth of working out, but it's a marriage for life, but it's just maintaining it now. So it's 20 minutes a day.
Well, when you say
42
marriage
days.
for life, you're talking to somebody who's not done very well with marriages.
Yeah.
So it's a commitment.
Commitment for life. There you go.
Some
Great word.
people aren't good with commitment.
It's a routine, right? It's a lot of patients. They get into a routine, whether it's just before they go to bed, or is it while they're watching TV in the evening, or is it first thing in the morning? They get into a routine where they do their therapy 20 minutes, and they're done. And those patients who do have a routine, they are the more adherent ones or the most compliant ones. Because they become very regimental. So this is just before I go to sleep. I'm going to do my therapy, go to bed.
Read a book, watch some TV.
There you go.
No, I got to tell you, Yasser, I think this is, you guys have this cleared for FDA approval for mild sleep apnea and snoring.
Correct.
But again, I go back to like, if 20 minutes a day is good, 30 minutes a day is better, I'm wondering if there's a way that I can package this for my patients, because I would imagine that my severe patients that are, let's call it 65% successful with mandibular advancement devices, because they go from a AHI of 47 down to an AHI of 14, and they're not all the way down below 10 or wherever we want them to be.
I see where you're going with
I
this.
can imagine that if we packaged it and we said, hey, do this for 20 minutes a day and wear your CPAP at night, do this for 20 minutes a day and wear your oral device at night, that it would be even better.
Adjunct therapy.
But remember, but if it's indicated for mild, you have to be really careful.
So we're indicated for moderate everywhere in the world except America. It's coming.
Okay.
Yeah, but what do you think about the future, or what do you think there's any credence to that philosophy, just as a practitioner of what I'm trying to do for my patients, of if you add this to what you're already doing, it's going to help better and faster.
So we're offering a solution to you for you to better serve your patients. So how you package that to better serve your patients? You have the flexibility.
I'm going to give you the non-politically correct answer. Okay. When I first started in sleep 8 years ago, the big thing was conjunction therapy with oral appliances and CPAP, right? TAP-PAP. That was the big one. My concern with TAP-PAP was always, how do you resupply the mask? Right. If you're going to infuse an oral appliance with a mask and you're going to make an impression for all that, how are you going to resupply the mask, the cushion correctly? It's a novel idea.
They still work
but it's
on
taking two hard therapies and making a really hard therapy, right?
Yeah.
I'm in the camp with you. I'm a huge fan of conjunction therapy. There's only so far we can protrude the mandible with an oral appliance, right?
Well,
so what if we were to make it to where you only had to protrude it half of
that's what I'm
you
saying.
did?
Maybe instead of having to protrude 6 millimeters, I don't have to protrude 2.
So if you're asking me, how do you work out harder with this? There is a way to manipulate it to work out harder, to get more of than a 20-minute workout.
Well, and I don't even know if that's necessary. I'm just saying that I see I see this as being potentially beneficial for my patients that have moderate and severe sleep apnea in conjunction with their devices.
I agree.
I love when you point
but-
with it.
Who's the dentist in Europe? The female dentist in Europe.
Added to the side.
Yeah. She hands this an Excite to everyone who gets an oral appliance. Now it's different in Europe, right?
Yeah.
Socialized medicine, what have you.
Yeah.
She gives a package with an oral appliance and an Excite
Well,
to every patient.
Let's talk about that. We don't have a code for this here.
Huh?
So we don't have a
Yeah.
code yet. So when patients want this, it's a cash fee.
Correct.
We charge about $800 for this, $850, something like that. That's probably, would you say like an average amount somewhere around there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, they can't exactly.
Yeah. So, and then of course, every year you got to get a couple new
Every 3
things.
No,
months.
every 3
Every 3
months.
months.
I swear he does listen. He does.
Well, I think what we do is we package it. So we get,
Oh,
because
it's
you're
on
coming
there?
for an annual checkup,
Okay.
and then we just give you 4.
Okay.
And then you switch them out. That's kind of what we're doing. Anyway, I guess we could do it every 3 months.
No, that's smart.
Yeah.
I like it better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's smart, dude.
So, but there's no code, so insurance won't cover this.
Yeah.
Which means patients have to pay cash. And I'll tell you, it's worth it. Like plenty of patients will pay for it.
Yep.
You know,
Well, with the money back guarantee.
and especially with the money
essentially.
back guarantee. What's it like in the UK? Is there a code for it in the UK?
It's not reimbursed yet as well.
Not reimbursed there either.
not
So it's a
yet.
cash
So-
fee there too.
But
The-
you were saying socialized medicine, it's a game changer.
Yeah.
Over there.
But in the UK, what we don't have is it's not prescription. So medical devices are not prescribed for
Okay.
in the UK or Europe essentially as well, unlike the US. So the UK, we can sell directly to patients.
Okay.
Ultimately.
So you have a direct to consumer arm there where patients can just call, just like the whatever device or the over the counter boil and bite
Over-the-counter.
devices
Zipa.
here. Zipa. Happy Z
You're welcome
spelled
for that
backwards. Jesus. I can't believe Dan, you gotta cut that out. I don't want to
sure.
give any money to that fucking company.
Z happy.
Yeah.
No, how do you really feel? Sure.
Well, we won't get into that.
Okay.
I can say it. I'm neutral now.
But so those people can just call and get one of those boil and bite shits. But this you can in the UK, but you can't here. It's got to be a prescription. It's considered a medical device. It's FDA approved as a medical device.
Correct.
So it's got to come from a physician. So is that your target? Is your target physicians?
Well, it's generating awareness ultimately because the physician, where a patient goes to them,
Yeah.
with sleep problems, so they need to get diagnosed ultimately, right? What is the problem? What is the underlying issue? So once the physician is able to diagnose through a home sleep study or a in-lab sleep study,
Yep.
PSG. So after that diagnosis, if they are mild OSA, so 14.9 and below, they get prescribed hopefully an XI OSA as the solution.
So what's your vision from a company standpoint? You guys are 3 years old, 5 years old, but you've only been there for 3 years now. You've been there for 6 months. The beauty and the reason I think, and I can speak for all of us here, that we're in this industry is because we think we can have an impact on the world. We think we can
Absolutely.
improve people's
100%.
lives
100%.
through whatever we're doing, whether it's CPAP or oral device or Excite OSA or knowledge or education or whatever. The
Podcast.
The goal is to improve awareness and increase and impact people's lives in a positive way, especially those people that suffer from this on a daily basis. So what's the vision for Signify Medical?
Well, our vision is to improve patient sleep night by night,
Okay.
ultimately, which will ultimately impact the quality of life. Because obviously, a lot of emphasis is done on how much you should sleep or how many hours you should sleep, 6 hours, 8 hours. But how much of that is quality sleep? Because sometimes you can sleep 4 hours and you wake up feeling fresh. Other nights you can sleep 10 hours and you wake up feeling rubbish. Because how much of that is quality sleep? With the device and other the digital app that we have and the interactions we have with the patients.
That's what
Engagement.
Before we close down on this podcast, Matt knows how to speak my language. The accountability part and how you guys keep people compliant, and it's not an extra charge, is priceless.
So we have an in-app chat and 24/7. That is manned 24/7. So a patient reaches out to us at 2:00 in the morning.
It's a lot like
they'll have an
it's a lot like Handsome Dan on Grindr,
Yeah.
right?
24/7.
So I'll give you one little thing too before we end, because one of the things that I continuously hear all the time from MDs and everything is, what about speech impediments? What about bruxism?
Yeah, no, I'm not
What
done with you.
about-
I have so much to talk to. Yeah.
My vision for this is to break ground, do what we got to do in OSA, do what we got to do to get where we are. And then it's time, once we're established, it's time to switch gears and see what this thing really does. Because to me, I've always been in sales to make a difference, right? I always promise myself never carry a bag just to carry a bag, always make a difference. To me, if we can cross sectors and we start having an impact on bruxism, on speech impediments, on stuttering,
I was
on
thinking, dude,
all
I was
those
thinking
things
Parkinson's. I was
that
thinking,
maybe
yeah.
people with strokes.
That's what I was
So
thinking.
right now
Paralysis.
we are meeting with the VA to be part of their program of post-stroke patients who can't tolerate CPAP. What about kids with Down syndrome who can't tolerate CPAP? There's a lot of avenues that I think as a society, we just don't know what it's like to have a fit tongue, right?
Yep.
We only know what it's like to have a fatigue-prone tongue. We don't know what it's like to have a fatigue resistant. We don't know. So what does that do? I don't know. But my question to, when I was with Akil, I had him for 7 days about a month ago. My question to Akil was, are we going to see where this thing goes after sleep apnea? And he listened to all my things and he said, check. We're going to do all that.
Yeah.
It's the thing that I've kind of said to everyone. We don't want to be sleep legends. We want to help everyone in every industry that we can. We just want this company to do so much good to so many disorders. And I think that's the time when you just drop the mic and say, we did it, man.
And I'll tell you something. So that was where I love that you said that. That was my question. Even having it in my mouth for a little bit and studying about, that's what my question was. Could this be for paralysis? Could it help people with MS? Could it, because that's what it is about strengthening the tongue. So I'm a fan, obviously, of you, Matt. It's nice. So
Right back
nice
at
to
you,
meet you.
brother.
But I think like knowing what the possibility is, like I said, early adaption. And if there's anything that we can do, not only with the podcast, but our platform, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Well, we've implemented this in our practice, and every patient that comes into our practice now with a diagnosis of snoring or mild OSA is given this as an option for therapy. And so we've decided that's what we're doing because I think options help patients too. I think it's good that patients have options, and patients that are choosing their options are more likely to go forward with their therapy. They're more likely to be compliant with their therapy when they have those options and they're making those choices. So, this is a new product for us, but we're excited about it. And I got to tell you, the work that you guys are doing is good work.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I think that this is something that, anytime we have something that can better treatment options, compliance, success rates, subjective findings, all those things for patients that are out there that are going through this, it's a good thing. And so I appreciate what you guys are doing.
And right back at you guys.
Yeah.
Look, the vision for you two to have us here right now, right? The vision for a dental company and a dentist to have us sitting here right now promoting this, when your bread and butter is mandibular devices, and it's a new world product, and where does this fit in our practice? And you guys had the vision to say, this is a game changer. We don't know how it works. We have no idea we have no idea how to implement it into our practice, how it's going to work, how we present it. We don't know, but we're going to figure it out because we believe in it. To us, that is a huge thank you, guys, because having us here right now, this is huge for us.
Well, and I think, to kind of end this and wrap it up, the goal is for us to get this out, and then in 6 months, have Matt come back, or a year, whatever y'all decide, and say, this is where we are. And because this is going to be out there, right? And to see where we were December 6th, right? Even though when it comes out, it won't be December 6th. I'm sorry.
The time space. You just entered the time space continuum again.
I always do that. But no, that's the goals. because we want to get that message out.
Yep.
And as many people that can see it.
So if you're out there, you're interested. So first of all, the links will be there.
Mm-hmm.
The contacts are there. I'm assuming if you go to the website, you can find it. If you're a provider and you want to know more, check it out. If you are a physician, an ENT, a sleep physician, and want to know more, we can check it out. If you're a dentist, if you're in dental sleep medicine and you want to know more, this is something that they can check out. Or if you're just somebody who snores and you want to know more, then you can check it out. If you're someone who snores and want to know more, you can just call me directly. You don't have to go through that. But
he had to do a little bit,
Yeah,
right? He
of
was
course.
giving.
Sleeping Around the Podcast brought to you by Sleep Better Austin.
That's right.
And Dr. Brandon Hedgecock. But no, seriously, guys, thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for
having us.
thank you for the work that you're doing. And keep it up. You know,
Yeah.
I'm excited to see the different technologies that are coming on. And I think it's so innovative with what you're doing with the app along, you know, the device is the device, but the app and the support
I love
behind it
that. Man,
is
that's
a
huge.
game changer.
And
for
I
me.
want to give a little shout out to this guy right here, Hedgecock. All
Oh,
right.
Jesus.
No, I truly do. When I met Brandon, sorry to say Brandon.
That's fine.
When I
am
met
Brandon.
Brandon, 8
I don't know.
years-
What do you call him?
Yeah,
On a
Dr. Hedgecock.
Oh, okay.
When I met Brandon 7 years ago,
Oh,
y'all were
wow.
doing like 1 or 2 devices a month, right?
Yeah.
And you were just dipping your toe. You were knee deep into dentistry. Dr. Kerr was just jumping aboard, what have
Nice.
you. Now I always tell everyone I'm working with the largest sleep dentist in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And the vision that you had, the drive that you had
Mhm.
when everyone told you it's not going to work, you're going in the wrong places. Don't listen to, I know who you listen
Yeah.
to. Don't listen to them. They're wrong. You took it personally upon yourself to say, fuck all that. I'm
Yep.
going to make it work.
Yep.
And Brandon, I must tell you, I'm very proud of what you've done. The guy that you took down from the throne in this city, I'm very happy with that.
I actually
And
am too, and I'm new at this.
And I would much rather have you at the top of that throne. But in all honesty, what you have done in 6 years, it's revolutionary.
Yep.
I think people across the United States would be fools not to jump on what you're doing, and to have us here and be a part of what y'all are doing. Thank you. I mean, it's been a
Hey.
huge.
Thank you.
No, I appreciate it. Honestly,
Yep.
I'm humbled by your words.
Yep.
We just want to help people, man.
That's right.
And so that's where it comes from. And but heard and thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truly. Lots of love,
Thank you.
bro.
Thank you for
Yeah.
your
Very much.
Thank you guys
Thank
for
you
coming
guys.
tonight.
Thank
Yeah.
everyone.
Well, we got to end it this way. Grab your water. Grab your water.
Cheers.
Thank you guys for sleeping around with Dr. Brandon and Matthew. You guys
Thank
are
you.
awesome.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you so much.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
I'm glad we got the chair in here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Dan.
Dad has never worked so hard in his life. He was
Oh, this was
stressing
fantastic.
the fuck
No,
out
this
over
is-
there.
It's not stressful at all.
He's- I saw Dan one time was like doing this with his eyebrows.
No, I'm thinking. I'm like, there's a problem.
When the sun goes down and the moon is high,